here on Capitol Hill that think it's more important to reward people who came here illegally than to look to the inner cities and strengthen the inner cities and strengthen the black community. When you think about what just happened here in Washington, D.C., where you had Walmart, who was basically had the doors shut in their faces. 18 to 2,000 jobs could have been brought in here to Washington, D.C. to turn around the unemployment situation here in Washington, D.C., which in the black community here is one of the worst in the entire country. But yet you had a person like Marion Barry who voted against it. The exact same Marion Barry who is once again up on censorship charges because he has been collecting money from contractors. Do we have people in the Congressional Black Caucus, do we have people that call themselves black leaders that are really concerned about what is happening in the black community, or are they just towing the line for progressive socialism? That's the question. You know, so many people talk about being bipartisan. I guarantee you, there are Democrats here, there are Republicans here, there are conservatives here, there are libertarians, and we are all standing for one thing, the America that we love, the sovereignty of this great United States. We're standing here because we want to make sure that it's not anyone's special interest, it's the American interest that comes first and foremost. That is what the people up here on Capitol Hill do not seem to understand. But your voice will make them understand that. You cannot just have immigration reform unless you have tax reform. Because we need to get Americans back to work. We need small businesses to grow once again. You cannot have immigration reform in the United States of America unless you have unemployment insurance reform. I think it's an absolute shame that when the president came into office, unemployment insurance benefits were 26 to 27 weeks. Now they're 99 weeks. And even worse than that, you have more people that are going out and applying for Social Security disability, which is destroying that program as well. What Obama, what the Senate, and what some members of the House believe in, they don't believe in the opportunity society. They believe in the dependency society. They believe in more people that they can have trusting in them and not trusting in God, then they will be the ones to stay in power. I say that is not the way in this country. We need your voice. We need you to join hands. We need you to understand that this is not about black or white or Hispanic or Asian or whatever. This is about one simple thing. This is about something that was started 237 years ago. The greatest experiment in liberty, freedom, and democracy. It's about looking up there on that Capitol and seeing that Indian statue called freedom and understanding that that is the beacon that so many people have looked toward when they came here and put their feet on these great shores. But if we're not careful, you have politicians that are willing for their own interests to sell it away. You have politicians that don't care about the legacy that you want to pass on to your children and grandchildren. They only care about what keeps me up here in Washington, D.C. Well, I tell you what, send them all home if they don't believe in this great nation. Now, there are going to be people that say, we don't have a heart. There are going to be people that say that we don't care about our fellow man. We do care. The United States of America is the most benevolent country that this world has ever known. But what we're here to say is to take care of your home first. Take care of Americans first. Get Americans back to work. Get our children back in colleges and universities so they can earn an education, so that they can be a part of this American dream. Take care of our inner cities, because if you don't take care of the inner city, you will never be able to repair this great United States of America. And never forget, it was during the Reagan administration with former deceased Congressman Jack Kemp and his Art Laffer, his economic advisor, that talked about urban economic revitalization zones, empowerment zones, how we can bring growth and prosperity back into the inner city. That's what we're all talking about here. We're not talking about saying, oh, you don't believe in respecting our laws? It's okay. Just come on in, and we'll tell the Americans to take the back seat. That's not how we are in this country. Americans ride in the front seat of this bus. Don't ever forget this is a republic. And in being in a republic, it's your voice that matters. And your voice now must resound stentorian. That's one of them smart words they taught me in college. It means really loud. And see, I see those Tennessee guys over there. That's where I went to school, University of Tennessee, and they taught me that word, stentorian. But your voices has to resound all across this great land. You have to join arms with people that you would have never thought you'd join arms with. Because the true test of who we are is what do we leave for that next generation. The reason why I can stand here today is because of a father that was born in South Alabama, jumped the Chattahoochee River, and grew up in South Georgia. A mother that grew up in Fort Valley and in South Georgia. And they said one simple thing: son, this is the greatest country that the world has ever known. It provides you all the opportunities that you could ever imagine. It's just up to you to get out there and take these opportunities and live this great dream that we have sacrificed for you. Today we are sacrificing in this heat to make sure that 200 years from now, that flag still flies. That 200 years from now, the Statue of Freedom is still on the United States Capitol. That 200 years from now, the language of this great nation is English and no other language. Do not leave here today without having a fire in your belly and a commitment in your heart, a resolve to make sure that when we say e pluribus unum, look around you today. Out of many, one. And that is what is the strength of this great nation. That is what it will enable us to defeat S-744, to make sure that our borders are secure, to make sure that American workers get back to work, to make sure that our children and grandchildren, when they read the history books, they'll talk about Monday, the 15th of September, 2014, when just a few Americans gathered on this Senate upper part. And with those few Americans, there started a movement to make sure that this will always be the land of the free. Because we are the home of the brave. God bless you all. Thank you.